I heard her whisper it when she thought I was asleep. I should have married Bryan. The words slid into the dark like a knife, quiet but sharp enough to cut something deep inside me. For a moment I thought I'd dreamed it. Maybe my mind was playing tricks on me. But then I felt her shift beside me, her phone's glow flickering across the ceiling. A faint smile curved her lips. Not the tired kind she gave me lately, but a small, secret one. I lay still, every muscle locked, pretending to breathe evenly. Bryan. That name echoed through me like an old wound reopening. Bryan was my college roommate, my best friend. He'd been the funny one, the confident one. He was the guy who could charm anyone in a room. He dated Emma briefly before we ever got serious. And when they broke up, she came to me for comfort. That comfort turned into love. Or what I thought was love. But now, years later, lying beside her in the quiet glow of deceit, I realized maybe I'd just been the consolation prize. The next morning, I watched her make coffee, her hair tied up, humming softly as if nothing had changed. She noticed my silence. "You're awfully quiet today," she said, sliding a mug toward me. I forced a smile. "Didn't sleep well." "Nightmares again?" Something like that, I thought. Her phone buzzed on the counter. She reached for it quickly. Too quickly. Then turned her back to type something before slipping it into her pocket. "Work?" I asked casually. "Yeah," she said, not meeting my eyes. "Just a client thing." But I'd seen the name flash across her screen for a split second. Bryan. For days I said nothing. I needed to know for sure. Suspicion is a dangerous thing. It twists you, makes you see ghosts where there might be none. But instinct never lies. So I waited. I watched. I noticed how she started staying late at work, claiming there were project deadlines. I noticed how she laughed while texting, her fingers flying over the screen. How she started wearing perfume again. The same one she'd worn when we first met. The same one she wore when she was with him. Every night she'd kiss my cheek, quick, distracted, and turn away before I could kiss her back. I'd stare at her back in the dark, her breathing slow and even, wondering if she was dreaming of him. The breaking point came a week later. Saturday morning. Rain tapping against the window. She said she was going to yoga with Claire. "Mind if I tag along?" I asked. She froze mid-sip of her coffee. "You? Yoga?" I shrugged. "Could use the stretch." She laughed, but it didn't reach her eyes. "Maybe next time." When the door closed behind her, I waited 5 minutes, grabbed my keys and followed. She didn't head toward the yoga studio. She drove to the Willow Cafe, a quiet spot on the edge of town, a place we used to go before life got busy, before silence filled our dinners. And there he was, Bryan, standing by the window, that same careless grin I used to admire. She walked up to him and hugged him like she'd been waiting her whole life to. My heart clenched, not with anger, but with something worse. Disbelief. I sat in my car across the street watching them talk, laugh, lean in too close. Every gesture screamed familiarity, intimacy. When her hand touched his across the table, I looked away. Because that was my wife's hand. And I didn't want to see her give it to someone else. That night she came home smiling. "How was yoga?" I asked quietly. "Oh, great," she said, kicking off her shoes. "I feel so relaxed." "I bet you do," I said. She didn't notice the edge in my voice. Or maybe she did and chose to ignore it. Over the next few days I planned my response, not revenge but clarity. I needed her to admit it. I wanted to hear the truth from her lips, even if it shattered me. So when Friday came, I set the trap. We were having dinner, just the two of us. Candlelight. Her favorite pasta. A bottle of red wine. Everything looked normal. She seemed surprised. "What's the occasion?" "Just felt like doing something nice for you," I said. Her eyes softened, guilt flickering just for a moment before she looked away. Halfway through dinner, her phone buzzed again. She glanced at it, smiled faintly, and flipped it face down. I took a slow sip of wine. "Who's Bryan these days?" The question hung in the air. Her fork froze midair. "What?" "Bryan," I said evenly. "You've been talking to him a lot lately, haven't you?" Her face drained of color. You checked my phone?" "I didn't have to," I said. "You're not exactly subtle." She swallowed hard. "It's not what you think." "Then explain," I said quietly. "He's just a friend. We've been catching up." That's all. Friends don't meet in cafes and hold hands, Emma. Her mouth opened then closed. Tears welled in her eyes, but I couldn't tell if they were from guilt or fear of losing control. Finally she whispered, I missed what we had. He makes me feel seen again. You've been so distant lately. I laughed bitterly. So it's my fault you're cheating? I didn't say that, she snapped. I don't know how things got so empty between us. Bryan reminds me of who I used to be. I stared at her. And what about me, Emma? What do I remind you of? She looked away, voice trembling. Of everything I gave up. That was the moment something in me broke. Not in anger but in realization. She wasn't mine anymore. Maybe she never fully had been. That night I didn't sleep. I sat in the living room, the clock ticking louder than it ever had. At some point she came down, her eyes red. Can we talk? Go ahead. She hesitated. I don't want to lose you, Mark. I just got confused. Bryan's not what I want. He's just a reminder. I looked at her, the woman I'd built my life around, and felt a strange calm wash over me. Do you love him? I asked. She hesitated. I don't know. Do you love me? Her silence was answer enough. I smiled, a small tired smile. Maybe you should figure that out. The next morning, she came down to find her bags neatly packed by the door. Mark, what is this? Space, I said softly. You said you missed who you used to be. Go find her. Her eyes filled with tears. Please don't do this. We can fix it. I handed her the small framed photo from our wedding day. Maybe we can. But not like this. She reached out to touch my arm. Mark. I pulled back gently. You whispered you should have married Bryan. Her face crumpled. So maybe, I said quietly, you still can. She left that morning. The house felt heavier without her, but also freer. For days I walked through silence. No perfume lingering in the hallway. No shared laughter from the kitchen. Just me and the echo of what once was. It hurt like hell. But somewhere beneath the ache, I felt something else, peace. Because betrayal, for all its pain, has a strange gift, clarity. It shows you who someone truly is. And who you've become trying to hold them. 2 months later I got an email. From Emma. Just a few words. You were right. I should have never whispered that. I lost the only man who truly loved me. I stared at the screen for a long time. Then I closed the laptop and walked outside into the evening air. The sky was turning orange, the world calm again. I smiled, not from bitterness but acceptance. Because sometimes the kindest thing you can do for someone who betrayed you is to let them live with the choice they made. And that's exactly what I did.